Humorous speech? Martin?
So I gave you a title, but
Oh, wait,
It's
I know,
on
but
that-
I thought,
it's on that little form.
I know, but remember, like, you're not supposed to say anything, right?
No, you're supposed to give the name of the person and the title of the speech.
Oh.
Not just not what movie it's from.
Tell him your title.
It's
okay.
called Reviving Excellence.
Okay. I'd like to call on Martin Golecki for Reviving Excellence. Reviving Excellence, Martin Golecki.
Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters, who of you here has ever heard that noise emanating from around you at the office? Anyone? I know that kind of groaning has emanated from my throat, as I've thought that it was because someone's bored, or because I'm getting bored, or because something's wrong with me physically, but really I've come to realize that it all stems from one really serious problem. And that problem is that something has died, and it's been brought back to life as a zombie, and it's eating my brain. And that thing is Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel. Ah, man, I could spend hours talking about it, but I'm going to talk about two main facets of it today that I think make it one of the worst things that I've ever encountered in my entire life. The functionality and visuals. Functionality. Microsoft Excel is something that was supposed to be designed as a spreadsheet formatter, manipulator, something very simple and basic. Yet, it's gotten more and more complicated and given you the ability to do more and more. Cell arrays. Not only can you manipulate a single point of data, you can now do multiple at a time and get very complex results. Pivot tables. Who here knows what a pivot table is? I've heard of them. I have no idea what they are. And you know what the problem with that is? I get spreadsheets with pivot tables in them all the time. And I'm afraid to touch them. Because this is data that's very complex and precise and correct, I'm sure, from someone who knows what they're doing, and I'm going to break it for sure. Because I don't know what's going on. Functions. That was an amazing invention. Hey, what if I could take a cell and define its value as a function of something else? Brilliant idea, except we've gotten more and more complicated functions as time has gone on, right? I myself, in my very limited experience with Excel, have written functions that are 4 lines long, where there's if, then, else statements all strewn throughout there, and then I look at it literally 2 days later, and I have no idea what I was doing. And then there's even the simple aspect of doing a copy-paste. I never would have imagined that doing a copy-paste in Excel would be hard, but have you ever tried copying from one spreadsheet and then right-clicking on another spreadsheet? There's about 15 options. How the heck are you supposed to figure out which one's the correct one? And it never works the way you want it to. You always say, oh, I just want to copy the value. No, it kind of copies some of the formatting, or it copies a link to something, and it just breaks things. Copy-paste also breaks the visuals. And I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Microsoft Excel styles. Cells can have styles. So different fonts, different sizes, different colors, different abilities of markup for whether a value is less than 0, or maybe it's not a certain number. Which is all great, it makes things look pretty, except for the fact that there's actually a bug in Microsoft Excel, and SAP if you've ever used it. In that, a lot of times you'll get an exported spreadsheet from SAP that gives you a separate style for every single cell on that spreadsheet. And Excel has a limit on the number of styles that you can have in a spreadsheet. So what happens is, I copied one cell from that spreadsheet into mine. Now my spreadsheet has 3,000 different styles in it, and now I can't save the file anymore. Even more hilarious for me is that you can't undo this. There's no way to go in and remove those styles. You basically have to start over. Create a new spreadsheet, copy things over by hand without the special copy functions, which I still don't understand, and then save that. Visuals. Who had the genius idea of putting plots into Excel? Shouldn't we have a separate program to do that? And why is it that the prettiest forms that I've ever created with spreadsheets in them and tables in them are in Microsoft Word? Because anytime you try to print something from Excel, it just looks horrendous. There's little gray lines everywhere, you don't know what stuff has been highlighted, and people have this amazing ability and thought that they have a great artistic talent. So they like to color things in their spreadsheets different ways, and then you get it, it's gone through 12 iterations, and it's just a exploded rainbow of color all over the place. You can't see anything. It's just a huge mess. Microsoft Excel has gone through what I would like to call feature bloat. We've decided throughout its 14 or 15 versions, depending on where you start counting, that every single time they came up with a new version, they decided, hey, we're going to add some new functionality, some new feature. We're going to add more. And then people get tired of it and realize, this is terrible, I don't want to do this anymore, I just want to kill it. And then Microsoft says, no, we're going to revive it better and stronger with more stuff. And that's what's caused it to become a zombie. It's eating our brains. It's mind-numbing. It's mind-numbing. It's gnawing at the neuron complexes in your brain. So what's the solution? I would like to propose a very simple one. Take the example of the calculator. How many versions have there been for Microsoft Calculator? Probably 2. And all it's changed is the graphics from Windows 3 to the modern graphics. That's it. You've never gone into Calculator and said, I don't know what to do, what is this doing, why are there so many buttons, why is there a ribbon? No, it's just a simple, here's 12 buttons to add and do stuff. So let's take the example of the calculator. Keep it simple, keep it basic, keep it just the way it was. Except maybe, have the ability to change the font color a little bit. Mr. Co-Chair.